Welcome back to Chasing News. I'm Bill Spadea. One issue that has been on the minds of a lot of voters in New Jersey is gun control. Specifically, new Governor Phil Murphy coming in and wanting to put even more restrictions on one of the most heavily regulated states in the country when it comes to firearms ownership. Now, one of the contentious points is over the right to carry and whether or not New Jersey citizens have the right to have a firearm outside of their home. Under New Jersey law, something called the justifiable need has to be proved to the court in order for you to get that, and pretty much nobody except former law enforcement qualifies for it. Well, one organization and one voice is standing up and taking a lawsuit to the state of New Jersey to say this is unconstitutional, not right, and it is denying honest, law-abiding citizens their constitutional right to protect their life. His name is Scott Bach, and he joins me now. He's with the New Jersey Rifle and Pistol Association. Scott, welcome to Chasing News. How are you?
Great, doing great.
So let me ask you, this is all about the justifiable need. We've got example after example. Carol Baum was somebody that you and I have talked about, a young woman who was killed by an ex-boyfriend who stalked her, came after her. She had a restraining order and was in the process of getting a firearm, but that process didn't happen in time for her to save her own life.
It was actually late. The process was late. We're not talking about carrying in the case of Carol Baum. We're talking about ownership. There's 30 days. There's supposed to be an answer. It was way past 30 days. She kept calling and saying, "Where's my permit? Where's my permit?" In the end, she had a piece of paper. People are confused in New Jersey about what right to carry is. Right to carry is the right to defend your life outside the home with a firearm. Everybody agrees inside your home, you have the right to defend yourself, including with a firearm. So I ask, and we ask, when you step outside your front door, what changes? Is your life any less valuable outside your home than inside?
What would happen if you are successful in your lawsuit?
If we're successful, what it's going to do is it's going to sweep the legs out from under New Jersey's existing carry law. The legislature will be forced to pass a constitutional standard.
All right, let's bring in our A-plus panel to break this down. Jeanette Hoffman is with me, political strategist. Always good to see you, Jeanette. And Peter Brown is here, councilman in Linden. Peter, I'm going to start with you. You are in government, after our conversations off the air, I know you're not a gun owner. You're a little bit unsettled with this idea. Why?
Yes, I mean, I agree. People do have the right to protect themselves inside their homes. And so what the difference is that the difference is we have police, we have law enforcement, and having more guns out in the street, I don't see that as a solution that's going to benefit society as a whole.
Statistics show violent crime drops between 6 and 10% and stays at lower levels. But the point I want to make in response to that is most people are shocked to find out that the U.S. Supreme Court has repeatedly held that police have no duty to protect individual citizens from harm. No duty. The reason for that, it's liability insulation. If they got sued every time the cops didn't show up, they'd be sued out of existence. But the bottom line is what that means for you and me is we're on our own in an emergency. And
I disagree with that.
That's
let me put it this way. I work with law enforcement, the police chief, and police officers. Any officer you ask will never say that. They are responsible.
You're talking about a legal standard, though, Scott. But let me get back to the emotion of this. But let's get back from that. I mean, as far as standing up for cops and they're doing their job. What I want to ask is, what does this mean for women in New Jersey if this passes?
Well, it's certainly what Governor Murphy is doing is making it harder for especially victims of domestic violence to have the ability to defend themselves. A restraining order, as Scott said, is a piece of paper. Women need the right to defend themselves. And I'm all for common sense gun laws, Bill, but what Governor Murphy is doing now will actually make it harder for law-abiding citizens to protect themselves, and I think strengthen the black market, and people will go and get guns illegally.
Scott, last point. What realistically happens, even if you win?
Well, what happens is this goes up to the U.S. Supreme Court eventually, and New Jersey is forced to follow the Constitution. It's a fundamental right. It's protected in the Constitution.
And for context for our viewers, New York and New Jersey are the outliers. 43 other states already have this right to carry in them.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jeanette. Thanks, Peter. Great.